Here we are again, huh?
Yeah, been a little while since we've recorded.
Yeah,
Not that
been a
anybody on the outside knows that, but yeah, we've had snow and
Christmas
rain and Christmas and all kinds of New Year's.
How was everyone's Christmas and holiday
Hold
season?
on. Welcome to the Ales and Tales podcast. We need to let people know who we are. Go ahead.
Okay. There we go. Where can we find and follow us?
The Ales and Tales podcast.com. And you can see our video links there. You can do our audio links there for podcast if you like. Our Patreon link, if you want to send us money, See if I can start sending subliminal messages.
And Carly's not with us today.
Carly's
because
not with us.
She's decided to renounce beer altogether and drink nothing but
Water?
soda
All
water.
right.
Soda water, yeah.
I've got a question about this because both you and her on the text chain use the word cleanse. Just call it dry January.
I don't know. She said she was on this cleanse thing, and I'm like,
Sounds like dry January.
It's not really dry. We did a cleanse for about a week.
Full cleanse. Yeah,
technically, I'm on a cleanse. I'm flushing my liver with alcohol. That counts.
Yeah,
It does.
cleaning out all the good bacteria from your gut.
Right. But so she mentioned the cleanse thing. So she's on a temporary cleanse. Worked out in a timing wise very well because besides our regular co-hosts and beer buddies, Jim McCarthy and Ben
I
Purrier.
don't know where I'm looking.
Yeah,
That's a good question.
that works.
We've got Michelle Rumrill.
Yes.
Rumrill.
I got it. Nailed it.
So she's visiting with us. She's going to be talking about Babe Brew, which you'll probably see the logo pop up behind me in a minute. And
your head's in the way.
well, who put me here? The discussion that went on prior to us actually recording was great. It took us 20 minutes to figure out where this was supposed to be, and
This meaning
why
the
I'm
actual-
supposed to be. Yeah, the beer
The beers.
Do you feel gaslit
slightly,
slightly?
but beer will help me recover.
That's
It's
right.
okay. It'll
Will
cleanse me
beer
of
help
those.
you recover, really? I mean,
it'll-
did it really tell you that?
It'll
We
Do
need
you
to
really
find-
remember it that way?
We need to find a quote about beer and forgiveness.
beer. Buy me a beer, I might
and-
forgive you.
Or beer and gaslighting.
Drink and forget.
Are the voices in your head telling you to drink beer?
Yeah.
Yes, that's help.
What
Yes.
pronouns are they using?
Yeah, they're like, try that one. What's its rating? So
Oh, first of all, for the holiday season, I have to say,
yeah.
I was introduced. I'm not an eggnog guy,
Oh.
but on one of the podcasts,
like canned eggnog, boxed
Bottled.
eggnog, or like homemade eggnog.
bottled.
Okay.
So
Oh.
never really been one. And over the holiday season, one of my podcasts that I produced, the Try That in a Small Town podcast, trythatinasmalltown.com. Follow it.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
As long as we
They
get one in return.
brought Evan Williams eggnog
Oh yeah.
onto the
Yeah,
show.
that's right. You're telling me about
Wow. Blew us away.
that. All right.
I probably put away like 9 bottles of that stuff. Maybe more.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good way to bulk up over the holidays.
Yeah, it's like drinking Alfredo sauce.
So
That's
you've never had homemade eggnog.
I don't think I did.
Ooh.
I almost
Boozy
made
and
some.
delicious.
Does it have eggs?
Do it, oh yeah, you do it the old school way with egg whites, and so you whip the egg whites to get like the froth on top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Stacy made some this year. Briefly, I tried a little bit of it. It was good.
I like
So
it.
it didn't have the alcohol in it. She did like some other kind of flavor stuff.
My family always had the family recipe, and it was a mixture of bourbon, rye, and rum that they would use. I don't know in what proportions.
Yeah.
But it had
The right ones.
Does it
apparently.
better?
I don't typically think of rum in eggnog. Maybe it is,
It
but
can be.
yeah,
Whatever works.
yeah.
If it tastes good, it tastes
It was
good.
always good. It was always good at
Whatever's
Christmas because
around.
even as a kid, we would go to I guess he was my great uncle, my grandfather's brother, his house for his Christmas party, and they would have the giant bowl of eggnog. We were allowed one glass. Of course, one glass was like 2 or 3 when they weren't looking. So as a young kid going upstairs, and you're getting a little hot up here, a little flushed.
And mind you guys who are listening, if this comes out, in February or even March, it's just that, we record these things. We try and batch them early.
Yeah.
So right around the time we're recording this episode. Sorry if we bring up bad memories about Christmas or anything like that. Or, oh my gosh, stop talking about Christmas. It's almost April.
Right. Or you get
Triggering trauma.
That's right.
Why
Or we
would
get
they
you
talk-
excited about eggnog and it's like February and you're like, gee, thanks.
What's Santa Claus have to do with St. Patty's Day?
Have some eggnog. It goes with St. Patty's. It's kind of pepperminty. I mean,
Right.
green, I don't know, mint.
Green and mint.
Mint?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Ben kind of organized this one. So, Ben and Michelle, tell us a little bit about what's going on. I'm curious about the Babe Brew. I don't know anything about it, so I think this would be good for all of our listeners.
I keep
and
on hearing
viewers
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. Tell us about Babe Ruth.
Tell us about Babe Ruth. How do you know Babe Ruth?
I'll let Michelle just kind of take it from. I mean, she's the ambassador for Bay Brews here in Nashville,
Yes.
or one of them.
And it's actually not Bay Brews, BAY. It's Babe.
Babe.
Brews. Yeah.
Babe Brew.
Like a bunch of babes
Babe
brew this
Brew.
beer.
That's right.
So I am an ambassador for the Beer Babes family, one of two ambassadors in Tennessee. We have a presence all throughout North America currently, and we're trying to get into Australia. One of the co-founders is actually from Toronto, I believe, Roxy. But we are an organization for women founded by two lovely ladies, Rachel and Roxy. And we are a nonprofit organization that raises funds for other women in the beer industry to go towards their business. So that's the big difference between us, Beer Babes, and Pink Boots.
Oh.
Because Pink Boots is education. It raises funds for, gals that want to go to school, get into brewing. And we're for the women already in the industry. 2 years ago, our grant that we award once a year went to one brewery owner, and it purchased a fermenter for her business. She got enough money for that. And this past year, it went to another pair of ladies that own a brewery. I'd have to look up where they're from, but
Very cool.
Yeah.
so the Babe Brews that I brought are the beers that we make in collaboration with different breweries around the country. And all of the proceeds, I say all of, depending on the brewery, we make an arrangement for proceeds to go back towards the Beer Babes,
Very
Awesome.
cool.
to go towards those grants.
Okay. So I was looking at the can, and I know if anybody's watching, I just took the front can. Let's see if I'll take the back one here. It says, Babe Brew is dedicated to the women of our personal lives and around the world who inspire us, push us, make us think deeper, mentor us, and lead by example, to the women who break rules and norms, speak their truth with compassion, live each day with unapologetic confidence, and champion equality for all. The women of the craft beer community are wholly unique, so we brewed this beer with all of them in mind. This beer was inspired by a group of women spanning the globe, the Beer Babes family, who bonded via the internet by way of their love for beer, and as a result, they instituted a sisterhood. So very cool. How many people are in the organization, do you know?
Oh my goodness. I think we're over 600 now
Right on.
currently
Okay.
and growing. And while the grants are awarded to women in the industry, Babe is kind of a term that can be used for guys too. So we have a lot of guys around that represent Beer Babes.
Men
for
can be
us, too.
feminist too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So both of these are local collaborations. Kind of the same guy, two different ventures. One of them shut down, and the other one reopened.
So Common Law, which is not around anymore, it's now Catfish, correct?
Correct, and it's about 10 minutes down the road from where we're sitting right now.
Cool. In Spring Hill, Tennessee.
That's right.
Okay. And then Dark Shadow.
Dark Shadow are home brewers that have been doing this for about 5 years. They're hoping to get a brick and mortar up and going this year, hopefully.
Ooh.
Awesome.
So
If
that'd
you,
be nice.
if you go to any of the local beer fest, you've probably seen them set up there. They've served a lot at a lot of the festivals. So
I'm
they've been around for a
their
couple
brand
years.
ambassador as well. So I go and I pour there.
Okay. So the first one we're going to try is the Muscadine Ale, which is slightly scary to me because Muscadine wine is like,
Sweet.
yes.
I
am not a sweet wine person. So I just be curious. To,
I love
is-
squeeze grapes though. Okay, everyone calls them. They're not muscadine. They're squeeze grapes. I'm sorry.
Squeeze grapes.
Squeeze grapes. My grandfather actually grew them on the farm growing up. When we would go down there and visit, so he'd have them all like strung up, and I'd go and just pluck them off the plant and
Just squeeze them.
squeeze them in there.
There you go.
Yeah, hard skins. A buddy of mine used to have them growing in his yard. It's like really
You don't
dense.
you don't eat the skin.
No. So this first one. By the way, are both of these available readily in?
Not anymore. The The muscadine ale that we're going to sample is from 2 years ago.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's still good. But it
Aging
was
like a wine.
Right. So
Right.
Yeah.
It is.
So you got to follow Bay Brews on Facebook,
That's
and
right.
you can see what collaborations they have coming up around the country. So if it's in your part of the country or if you're traveling, something to keep an eye out for.
Okay.
We always have releases. The second beer we'll be sampling was released in December. But with the muscadine ale from a couple years ago, it was more of a summer release. And it you see, I'm reading, so I don't get this wrong. It was brewed with locally sourced muscadine, Tennessee two-row barley, flaked rice, and local Tennessee corn. It's kind of a hybrid beer combining the dry, hoppy character of a brute IPA and subtle fruit character like an Italian grape ale.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well,
Let's dig in.
let's dive in, see what's up.
I love
ASMR.
this one.
Wait, hold on. Okay. You want to do
Gotta-
it? You
gotta
do
zoom
it
Another
in.
thing.
on the camera. Hold on a minute.
You're
camera
going to
lined
get
up.
some beer pouring music going?
Oh, yes.
Over there.
A little tension,
Oh,
bed.
yeah.
Suspense is killing me.
I feel like we're on a game show. Like he's got to pour the right amount or the bomb explodes.
What's your answer?
We do got one can to go around too, yeah.
Thank you. Yes,
maybe this
just
isn't
the
the right
one
bit.
can.
Hold on. Here we go.
All right.
There we go. Who's
That's
gonna-
more like wine music.
It is.
So it's it's almost like a peachy lemon color, semi-hazy.
Very wheaty. Looks like a wheat
Yeah.
color.
It's got a little bit of an orange or a peach color to it, but not much.
Oh.
I just moved it off the coaster, but oh well. So what we'll do, we'll nose it, see what we get off of the nose. That looks cool.
I underpoured myself.
You under? Oh,
I did too.
I did. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think Jim won.
Oh,
did I?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Was that all of it?
Did I do that?
It's got a yeasty smell
It
to
does.
it. I can smell grapes.
The grape, for sure.
Yeah, just it's very faint. It's
Yeah.
definitely faded off a little bit. But there, just kind of in the back, you get that muscadine. It kind of gives me hope. Mike, I don't think it's going to be too sweet. I think that might have settled down
I
a
think
little
you'll
bit.
be pleasantly surprised.
It's almost
It's got a white wine, like almost a sparkling wine smell to it.
champagne-y.
That's that brute IPA that she was talking about.
I like the smell. It smells good. I could dig that. All right, let's see what's up.
Oh, yeah. This aged just right.
Oh God, that's good. I like it. I just wanted to throw everybody off. No, I like that. It is
You?
very dry.
I like it. You get
It
a
has
lot
a very
of,
dry finish.
You get a lot of the. I kind of want to. I guess they did brew it with the skins. You get the skin that kind of that drier taste to it. Because I'll still chew
Kind
on
of
the skins.
pulls
I
a
don't
little bit
eat
of
them, but yeah.
moisture out.
Not as sweet, not as overpoweringly fruity. A little bit of that earthiness to it.
Yeah, I like that, man. I like a really dry. I'm a fan of Austrian white wines, Rieslings, Steinfetters, and Fetterspiels, which are very, very dry, like rocky,
Thought
minerally.
Rieslings were sweet.
Not Austrian ones.
Okay.
No, if you get like this, so there's in the Wachau Valley, along the Danube River, they do a lot of white wine grapes there, and all those wines are very, very minerally. Like you get very dry, very minerally notes, very earthy notes, almost no sweetness whatsoever.
Okay.
And that's it's the first time I ever liked white wine was I was there and I got a chance to try some of it and I was like, wow, this is amazing. But there's the Steinfetter, which is the stone feather, which is a type of grass that grows on the cliffside, which is really cool looking. Fetterspiel, which is feather something. I can't remember what it is. But it was what they used for their falconing or something like that. It was like this thing that they would throw, which was a slightly darker version. And then they had I can't even spell it. It's something that means lizard or something like that, which is a third type of the
Lizard
Riesling.
spiel.
Yes.
Delicious slacking.
Grumsham or something. Anyway, but yeah,
Better
those
lizard.
three wines are very dry.
Yeah.
Which this reminds me of. It's just got more of a beer finish to it, which is cool.
I kind of wonder. I've never looked at. Do you know when they say like a brut IPA? Is it using like a brut champagne yeast or?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So that's where you probably get a lot of that dry effervescence from.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably trick somebody into believing this was a sparkling wine, except for there's just enough like ale
Yeast
flavoring at
qualities.
the back of it that you get that.
This
good.
one was very popular.
Yeah.
And just to throw out the hops that were used, they actually used Nelson Sauvin,
Nelson
Sauvin, Galaxy, and Enigma hops were added as dry hops into the fermenter.
Interesting.
So the Nelson's gonna definitely add some of that fruitiness and that kind of dry champagne
To help
character.
balance that backbone
Yeah, I mean, think
of
of
the
think of,
muscadine.
well, you think of like a Sauvignon Blanc.
Mhm.
So the Nelson Sauvin, I mean, gets a lot of those characteristics. I don't know if that's how it got its name because they just share chemical compounds that taste the same. But it's a New Zealand hop.
The Galaxy I thought was a fairly fruity hop, like
Galaxy's
a
pretty
pineapple-y
fruity.
kind of mangoey. I don't get any of that, which is interesting.
It was
Probably-
probably used to help
Yeah.
balance that
neutralize it.
malty backbone.
What was the third one?
Enigma.
I don't know anything about Enigma.
It's an enigma.
If you're going to not know
enigmatic
about
to
one
me.
of them, that's the one you don't want to know about. What all flavors do you guys get from? So we got obviously the kind of a white wine, the brut. You get the little. I don't get a lot of the grape, which is good because
It's on the back end. It's there, but again, it's more of it's more the skins and the seeds taste. You know, that kind of earthy, drier taste. What was that?
Jim's over there playing
A little
around.
nature.
Playing on his phone,
I wasn't doing anything.
experimenting with some sound effects.
No.
I did like how you let the song just kind of like play and like slowly fade out.
It
Like
did.
you
That was
almost
great.
forgot it was
That's what we
there.
do.
And it's like, oh, it's still there. It's nice.
It's actually still there.
You liar.
You don't hear that?
No.
Stop it.
You hear it, right?
No.
You hear it?
No.
This is the
Damn it.
This is the Emperor's new song.
That's why we know it's known in the business as the slow fade.
Slow fade.
Yes.
Jim, what do you get out of this?
I'm kind of on the same page as you. It's on the surface very like white winey, almost like a champagne. But then you get those heavier qualities of a brew. You know what I mean? Of a beer. So it's interestingly throwing me off.
That's
I guess to
in a
describe
good
it.
way.
Yeah, in a good way. I like it.
Nice.
It's like immediately my mind always goes to what would this go with, and I'm thinking for some reason pretzels and mustard.
Yeah.
Like soft pretzels.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right?
Soft pretzels and mustard.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I don't mean to jump the gun and do.
No, I was about
yeah.
to dive into that anyway, so that's fine because we got a second one we're going to have to try.
Right,
So I would agree with that. I think something that is a little bit of spiciness to it because this is so dry, this would help kind of like wash that off and neutralize again really quickly. So you get to go back and forth between them and you're not getting overwhelmed by anything.
I'd be afraid of anything too spicy or too heavy because it is fairly light, fairly delicate.
I like the idea with seafood.
Seafood, I think, would be fantastic.
like a chowder or something, like maybe even like a New England clam chowder.
Ooh.
But what kind of seafood? Kind of like beachside seafood kind of thing.
Like
Yeah.
a nice light fish.
Like a light white fish,
Flaky.
a cod, haddock, something nice. And that has a little meatiness to it too,
Right.
without being too delicate, because then this would overpower that a little bit too much, probably with any of your shellfish.
Kind of funny that we're going the same page as white wine would pair.
Yeah.
Right. And that's
probably
almost how
why.
you should look at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And especially since like with wine, you can swish it in your mouth and really detect other notes. It totally changes when you do that. It feels almost wetter when you do that.
Yep.
Instead of the dry finish, you get other notes.
Okay.
I'm thinking I want like an Alfredo pasta, something creamy with this.
Right. Like a chowder.
A lot of Parmesan cheese, something
He's
like that.
swinging
Yeah.
back to
Stuck on that
his.
chowder.
He is stuck.
Yes.
It's similar.
Our
like, but
Boston
it's a
guy is stuck
creamy.
on the chowder. It's funny.
We went from eggnog and Alfredo sauce to creaminess of a chowder.
Yeah.
I would agree with you.
It's good. I think it would even make a good pizza beer.
Clam linguine.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, clam
Good
pizza.
idea.
Clam pizza.
Clam
it's
pizza is
delicious.
amazing. It's so good.
Yeah,
Never had clam
it is
pizza.
fantastic.
It'll
Okay.
change you.
Where do I get clam pizza?
Viking
New England.
Well,
Viking pizza?
Viking Pizza actually has a clam pizza right down in Spring Hill.
Shut
Really?
up.
Yeah, it's very good. It's not the same. So
It's like 5 minutes away.
Does it taste fresh? Is it
They
bland?
have good
Yeah,
pizza.
it was very
Yeah,
good.
they have good
Yeah.
pizza.
But when I went to New Haven, Connecticut, apparently New Haven has its own style of pizza
Pepe's.
called a pizza. Because they just decided to put the A at the beginning instead of the I don't understand. But anyway, they have the specialty is a clam pizza with bacon and some other stuff on it. It's fantastic.
Okay. I'll try
Yeah,
it.
it's very good.
On a whole separate note, speaking of New Haven, I played in a venue up there more than once that our pal Rich has never played.
Really?
And it's a notable venue too. He's like, I've never played Toad's Place. I said, I played there like 5 times.
Subtle flex.
Not
subtle
to
flex.
brag.
And then he said, yeah, how about
Look
this
where I
arena?
am now. What's that?
And then he said, yeah, how about this arena where I played? And you
How
went,
about- have you
no.
played the Hollywood Bowl, Jim? No. Well, I have. Okay.
hey,
Madison Square Garden?
You get your
No.
points where you get your points, man. It's
I know.
okay.
You take what you get. You know, I played a place you never did. So
That was cool.
I would have really liked to have this beer fresh. To
Oh,
see
it,
how
was,
much more the muscadine pops.
it definitely did. This was my last can. I had been sitting on it for so long for the right occasion,
There
and
we
then
go.
this popped up.
There you go. I
It's
like it.
perfect.
So is this
Tell the
something that would
masses.
probably be made again?
I do believe so because it was very popular.
Okay.
They switched and did a couple of different lighter summer beers this past year. Dark Shadow did. They did like a pickle goza, which is my favorite. I love it. Let's not
pickle?
talk pickle. No, I shouldn't have brought it up.
goes.
Okay, I've had a couple of pickle beers. One was really mellow and it was good, but one was so much pickle that like a quarter of the way through the pint, I went, I'm done.
Was it distill or distill, however you say
yeah.
it, distill? I do
Not a fan.
like theirs
No, it wasn't that
as a
one.
mixer.
It was
Don't
potent.
judge.
It was like chewing on a pint-sized pickle, basically.
Who was the
Excellent.
brewery that did the buffalo and ranch beers?
Oh.
Because their pickle, they have a pickle and a mustard pickle, and they're actually
I have their pizza
bangers.
beer right now.
yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know they did pizza beer.
Does it taste like pizza?
We're going to.
I
imagine it's
haven't
not.
opened it yet. I've been sitting on it.
We're getting into the Doritos territory where, everything you try is going to taste like something entirely different. Here's a beer that tastes like a hamburger. How about I
Here's
just
a
have a
beer.
hamburger with my beer? How about that?
Here's a beer that tastes like cannabis. And now I really want a pizza beer and some Funyuns beer and Doritos beer.
What was the smoothie beers? Yeah, like they were doing like the
420.
Yeah, they had some crazy smoothie beers that tasted like Sour Patch gummies
yeah.
and all that stuff. And it was just so much flavor.
Cereal, different
Yeah.
Fruit Loops, whatever.
It was a bit much.
So good.
Were those
Just
limited
saying.
runs or are they still available?
Different flavors are
Yeah.
available. They're always changing.
Right. Like Fruit Loops and stuff like that. I mean,
Those are like a beer that you could do like this. One
Right.
can,
Yes.
between
You're
not
not
a
gonna slam
whole
it.
pint.
right. That's where it gets, it's just, that's
Yeah.
not a beer you just open up while sitting on the couch and just drink away. That doesn't work.
I mean, it depends on how demented you are.
I am not. I am not gym level demented.
it doesn't have the consumability of an Evan Williams eggnog. Evan Williams.
So is that
Wait,
going to
is he a
be
sponsor?
opened? I was going to say sponsored.
He's got a secret. secret.
He's got
sponsorship
Evan
on the
Williams as a
side.
sponsor deal now or something.
So is that going to be sampled after this?
If I had some, why not?
Oh.
Be a palate cleanser. Why not?
Aw.
Where's the nearest liquor store, Jim?
They'd give us the
far away
tongue
is
glove
it?
for sure.
I bet they still have some. It's only January.
I know.
I
Well,
bet we could find it.
we were at the last time we recorded, they had an extra couple of bottles and they're like, you want any? I'm going, no, I cannot keep drinking this stuff. I need to go the other way. So,
You need to be on the cleanse.
yeah. That's what we were getting into the cleanse. I was like, dude, this is completely anti-cleanse.
Yes, that
This
is
is not
completely
not good
anti-cleanse.
for a liver cleanse to drink Evan Williams eggnog. But yes, we'd love a sponsorship. It would make sense for an Evan Williams to sponsor to sponsor
Not
this
even just-
podcast
not even
and
just
others
Evan
that I
Williams, Evan
particularly
Williams
produce.
Eggnog.
Seriously, I mean,
Eggnog.
it's good. It's separate from the brand with brands that we represent. We're a beer podcast, but hey,
Right.
why not a whiskey brand?
Right?
You know,
I
come
mean,
on, Evan Williams.
anybody listening,
That's right.
watching.
I love a good barrel-aged beer. We just get some Evan Williams barrels to
Yeah.
pair with Babe Brews, and we'll do a whole collaboration.
Hey.
Well,
Let's
whiskey
do it.
would whiskey serve as maybe, and this forgive my naivete. Would whiskey serve as a good palate cleanser or no? Not really.
No, it's too strong on the tongue, the taste buds.
Okay.
Water is good.
For the sake of sponsorship, let me ask that question
Yes,
again.
it would be fantastic.
I think it's a great idea. I think it would make the shows more fun. Like, we'd all be a little looser, have a little more fun.
I am not, when I think of podcasts, I just don't think in business sense a lot of times. It's just funny. Jim is the business guy on the podcast.
Well, I see that for getting on whiskey, the Evan Williams bottled and bond white bottle is about the best $15 you can spend. If you were looking
Wow.
for a under $25 bottle of whiskey that you could blind pour for somebody and they wouldn't bat an eye at, the Evan Williams bottle and bond is phenomenal. Like you take it around whiskey snobs and like, oh, it's pretty good. What is that? And it's Evan Williams, and it's like $15.
That's great.
That's good. It's good stuff.
Brought to you by
when
Evan
you
Williams.
transition to some of those episodes, I insist on coming back.
Fair enough.
You know the thing with the Evan
Tequila
Williams thing is that
specifically.
they're actually in Louisville. So I mean, even
Yeah.
like if they were to sponsor us, I'm just kind of pulling up their website. I'm trying to see.
It's like 4 hours away.
I'm wondering if they have like a bourbon barrel beer or something like that.
I'm sure somebody's used their barrels. I don't
Oh,
know if
you
they, I don't
know
know
it.
if they
There's so many
will.
breweries going on. Somebody's got a hold of it.
Knoxville has so many.
That's what I'm saying. But if they were to
breweries.
send us barrels, we could find the breweries to put something in them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
We
make-
joke,
can
and
make
obviously
that,
with
we can
their
make that
connections.
happen. right.
While he's looking, let's rate this real quick, and then we're going to move on to the next one. Otherwise, we're going to be a 3-hour episode. I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10. It shocked me when I saw muscadine. Honestly, I
Yep.
was scared. I do not like muscadine wines.
I give it-
This is very good.
Just for Jim's pleasure, I give this an 8.37.
9.2
Yes.
0.3792.
I was trying to think
to
of
the fourth power.
a 9.37 babes out of charities. I don't know how to put that. Like, I'm trying to come up with something in my brain. Just like, bleh.
8 out of 10 bunches of grapes.
I would really, yes, there we go.
Yeah.
I would really love this again, fresh to see how much, because I think that extra sweetness would have gone really well with that kind of dry wine character.
I'm
help
gonna
balance
have
the
to.
yeast.
I'm gonna have to talk to my buddies there, Dark Shadow, since I am an ambassador, and see if there might be a couple extra cans
Right.
laying
Come
around.
on.
See when
Keith.
they're doing a fresh batch, and then we can hold an old one and then compare with the fresh batch.
Yeah.
Do you do anything with Zool?
No, I don't, but I adore Zool. I
Yes.
love it. They're fantastic.
You know, I
They
could
need-
have brought
they-
some Zool.
They
Oh,
need
well.
to advertise. I would be willing to break objectivity if they came on with sponsors.
So I
going strong,
introduced
isn't he?
Jim to the PB&J
Yes,
mixtape.
I know, right?
And,
Dude, let me-
he
let
ended
me-
up going down to Cool Spring Wine and Liquors and buying how many growlers of it over the
2.
course of just 2? I thought it was more than that.
We have 2 growlers and you can get them filled.
Okay.
But every time you go in there, they don't have it.
Oh no, he has 2 growlers,
It's
but you
always-
kept going back multiple.
I
Oh,
should
yeah.
have brought some. I have PB&J strawberry.
Mixtape.
Ooh.
I haven't had the strawberry. I've had the grape.
It's so good.
Dude,
I
that,
think all I've had is the grape.
that had,
Strawberry might be the best.
that is absolutely
It's my favorite.
in my top 3
Ooh.
beers of this show.
It's a
Wonderful.
great beer. I
All
agree.
right, but Jim, how do you rate?
I'm kind of along those same lines as Ben. I'm like an 8.5. Yeah,
That's where I would go.
Yeah, I'm
Strong
I'm
scores from the
objective.
crew.
I
I
like it.
love that. That's so great.
Yeah. Mike's
Ooh.
Oh yes.
We're diving into the next one.
He's,
just
he's
so we-
moving
It's
it along.
perfect because
For
that
time
one,
purposes.
That one was so light, and this one's so much that you don't even have to wash out the glass. It won't make a difference.
Yeah, no. So this one is a what kind of porter? This is an American
Gingerbread,
porter.
American porter.
Gingerbread.
Gingerbread.
3 pounds.
3 pounds of gingerbread houses and gingerbread cookies
Okay, wait a
were
minute.
harmed in the making of this beer.
Time out. So gingerbread and gingerbread houses. So they took some of the gingerbread, made them into houses, then threw the houses in along with the
Yes.
extra gingerbread.
We have like,
It's like a
You know how
lot
they
of
brew
extra
beer in
work.
barrels with the bourbon? They brew the beer in gingerbread houses.
They have a little gingerbread man.
Gingerbread
A
barrels.
gingerbread
gingerbread
vats.
tank.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty funny. The combination of gingerbread houses and gingerbread.
Gingerbread cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting. I love gingerbread. I don't love it as much as I like ginger snaps. That is my go-to. That's like
you
my,
like them nice and crunchy.
Well,
Yeah,
now that we
well-
know that, because Courtney makes ginger snaps every year
Oh,
from scratch,
How has
really?
he not
we'll
known
have
this?
to make sure
Mike-
that you're included in that.
my mom used to make them, and it was like one of my. I would just sit there watching her make them. I'm just like,
Have
like a
you
dog
ever
ready for a
had
treat.
Moravian ginger cookies?
Who?
Moravian ginger cookies. I'm gonna have to bring you some really thin, crispy.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
them so
Is it
much.
good? Very good.
They're very ginger snappy. They're very strong. Like we had some at work, and some people are like, "I can't eat more than 2. It gets too spicy." Like what? Like I've been
So
eating these
good.
since I was 4.
I'm the guy that likes the ginger ale, the South Carolina company that makes the
like
ginger ale with
ginger
the
ale,
actual
ginger
ginger
beer,
root. So,
where
yeah,
it's like,
you take a sip of it and your tongue just goes, it just catches on fire.
dude, little
so
little
good.
whiskey in that bad boy. Oh
Yes.
yeah, I love a good whiskey
You're
ginger.
gonna crack that out. Move the glass over to towards me.
The other towards
There?
him.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's a little off kilter, but that's fine. We'll get
How
the
about now?
idea. That's good.
Now,
Push it towards away from you.
push it towards away from you. See, I
Push
told
it
you it
towards,
doesn't get
push
good
it
instructions.
away from
Closer.
you. Towards me, away from
That
you.
sounds
There
like
you go.
that sounds like a good rock
No,
song.
go the other way.
Push it towards away from you.
It's
There you
staying
go.
there. Good. All right.
Try it. Oh wow.
Oh yeah,
What does that look like?
Ow.
beer.
It does, but it's so syrupy and brown.
Hey, now I'll say something for the rest of us.
I'm trying to make it more even. I think we're all going to get a little more of this way. It evens out.
Yeah.
We're
do-
shorting Jim on this one.
This one I do believe is still available. Oh, sorry, got a little heavy on that pour.
If you
No,
go
it's about
down-
the same.
Yeah.
Go down to Brood, BRUD,
Mhm.
in Spring Hill.
BRUD.
Yes,
Coffee
Brewed.
shop.
It's
Oh.
a coffee shop.
Okay.
And they do have I forgot how many taps, but
Yeah, but that is where
This
the
is where
same
this comes from?
location that Common Law, the one we just had, was. That is now going to be Catfish
Okay.
Yes.
In Brood.
in Brood.
in Brewed or possibly in
Not
your
in Bruges,
location,
in
yeah.
Brewed.
Right. Not inbred. In Brood. Okay. So
How did his get
we
so
got
heavy
shorted
again?
more.
What is going on?
I'm just taking
being
what you
too
give
we
me.
nice.
all poured ourselves more, and he's still got more.
We're being
hilarious.
too nice.
All right.
Revolting.
We're having him start the pouring next time. It starts on his.
I'm fine with that.
Agreed. What is happening?
Actually, looking at the symbol, I think I'm about even with him.
I was being
Yeah.
really nice because I have
Boo, Jim, boo.
So that is a really dark brown, kind of a
is.
caramelized.
Sorghum.
Yeah. Maybe
Oh, smell it.
you get the
it's dark.
molasses.
You
Smells
don't
like
see
Christmas.
through it.
It smells like
It's
Christmas.
so good.
What's the name of the place that took the spot from Common Law again? You said.
Catfish.
Right now, it's called
Catfish.
Brood.
Brood.
BRUD.
So does it have like a different picture of itself online?
Probably.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
It
Brood,
won't.
like the U's got a little umlaut.
Right.
Mhm.
And then you go to meet it, and it's like completely doesn't look like the picture.
Maybe.
Catfish.
I mean, honestly, like that would be a great like business model. Like have
Way
your,
to drop
have
the
your Google,
explanation.
Yeah, just in
Google,
case.
like giant palace, like awesome looking
They get
brewery.
there, and it's like a shack.
You got like a picture of like Sierra Nevada on there, like and they get there and it's kind of like so great brewery, good beer. If you've never been to Broadcast Brewing, we kind of dropped the name earlier. It's in a shack more or less, like it's a storage unit that's converted into like, and it's brilliant, like absolutely brilliant. So it's you're a home brewer, you want to start up. Nashville's a little oversaturated, rent's high. He has this like rented. It's, I mean, I guess the best way to put it is like an oversized, like it's on a
It's a storage unit.
It's a storage
yeah.
unit. But it's converted into like a little tap room brew house.
Cool.
And,
Interesting.
It's fun. If you're going to a soccer game down by Geodis,
Oh,
it's
it's
walking
perfect.
distance from Geodis. You can go park there pre-game, get some beers, and walk up.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. This is all new.
What do you-
news.
What are you picking up on this thing?
Ginger.
Oh, you get the
Ginger snap.
molasses.
Molasses, definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gingerbread, molasses, brown sugar.
Christmas.
Definitely got some sweetness in the nose. Almost a smokiness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Really mild.
Mm.
Like that, the barrique. Fest beer they did a smoked.
They do a bunch of smoked beers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it has
they do.
The rock beer.
Rausch beer. Yeah,
That one's pretty pow.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
The rock
Welcome to
beer.
the
All right,
rock.
let's give it a whirl.
Love it.
They've done a couple other smoked lagers and stuff of that nature.
Oh, you get that gingerbread.
Oh yeah, it hits you right in the head.
Uh-huh. But it's not so overpowering that you feel like, why am I drinking a gingerbread house?
That's good.
It
That's
still
really good.
has the malty, roasty notes of a porter.
Yeah,
Does.
yeah. You get all your standard porter stuff.
Good, smooth,
But
medium
just
body.
that, right up front, you get the ginger. It's just like bump, immediately on the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Then it kind of rolls off, and you get spices that honestly seem very similar to eggnog: nutmeg, allspice. Like it kind of carries across the tongue, and then it's just the maltiness of the porter at the end.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mhm.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I would be concerned that could feel heavy after a while, because that's a lot of spice.
I got a whole pint. By the
But-
bottom of the pint, it was wearing thick.
Yeah,
It warms up a little bit, and it can get a little thick on the tongue. Give you that. Hit the button.
Tongue
Hit the
glove.
button.
Hold on.
Mike'sToyStore.com.
Get that tongue glove, baby.
It's one way to get Carly to make an appearance.
I hadn't heard it yet, and
I was waiting for it earlier.
I had to get it. Well, like you said it earlier, and then you tried to like gloss over real quick. Like, hey, you changed your wording to make sure he wouldn't. I had to bring it back.
That was good.
Michelle, are you familiar with Mike'sToyStore.com?
No.
Okay. So he has all these interesting names to describe certain elements of the effects of beer.
Tongue
or how
glove
they-
being one of them.
Tongue glove being one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, you just kind of coat your tongue, and you get it
Yeah.
just is overwhelming. Yeah.
Get the tongue
Sure.
glove.
And that
And
was the sound effect to it.
That was
That's
going to
how
be,
it is.
that's in
I
his
like
toy
it.
store. Or some of the other things that we came up with.
I was trying to think of them earlier. I can't remember. We've had a few.
Yeah.
There was no.
And moving
It's
on.
probably it's probably good that I don't remember. But yeah, there were a couple. It was like a something slicer or something. I don't know. It doesn't.
What are the
matter.
terms that you use?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just comes to me.
You got to do it organically, naturally.
Yeah,
Let it just happen. Flow with it.
It is dumb and funny.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, that's it. Oh, speaking of dumb and funny, did I tell you guys that I ended up doing open mic comedy?
Yeah. dude.
Where?
No.
Where at?
I forgot about that.
I told you I didn't. I told you we were elsewhere. So I was at. I came home one day after work, and Stacy goes, "Hey, get changed. We're going out." I went, "All right, cool." So I got changed, and I said, "Where are we going?" She goes, "We're going to go down here. There's a pub called the Bunganut Pig, and
Yeah.
they do an open mic on Thursday nights." And we
For
walked
comedy
in
or for music?
for comedy.
Really?
So we walked in, and we were late because Stacy. Stacy is type B personality. I am type A, but it's all good. So we get in, and the only table really is right there in front. So we get right up in front of the stage, and the guy who's hosting the thing is talking, and he goes, "Oh, hey, welcome." And we sit down, and immediately there's conversation. And he goes, "Well, what brought everybody out tonight?" And he starts at this table, and they say, "Oh, I'm one of the comedians I'm going to be on," and "Oh, I came to support so and so." And he got to our table, and he goes, "How about you guys?" And Stacy goes, "He wants to do open mic," and I went, "Huh?" So I don't know. I think it was a combination of she was trying to mess with me for humor, but at the same time also try to push me because I've joked about doing that before.
Okay.
And I went, "All right, fine."
Oh.
So I pulled up my
Challenge
notes,
accepted.
and I was
Gauntlet draw.
yeah, and I was like, "All right, I'm here. Why not?" So I was studying my notes, and I went up, and I won.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
You won.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? It was judged?
Yes.
Okay.
It was judged very awkwardly,
How
which was funny.
was this like a 2-minute set?
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Oh my God.
Right.
It sounds
You
like a
had that
lifetime.
much
And-
material.
Well, I had ideas, and most of it was off the cuff.
Good for
So
you.
I just kind of ran with it, and it went well. Yeah, they told me anytime I wanted to come back and do like a 5-minute thing, I could. I was like, well, that's awesome.
So-
So I went back and did open mic a second time, but I prepared, and I didn't do as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you prepare for something, you're
Yeah.
like, you've got a set
think
idea
too
of what's
hard.
going to go, and then go to the here.
What do
and
they
then-
say in the car business? Stay stupid. When you figure it out, you start.
no,
nuts.
Keep it simple, stupid.
There's keep it simple, stupid, and the other was
Yeah.
stay new.
No,
Stay
they tell you
new.
to stay stupid.
Stay new.
No,
Yeah.
it was stay stupid.
I remember stay
Was
stupid.
there? I've
Oh,
never
yeah.
heard stay
when
stupid.
when I started, no, that was absolutely stay stupid.
You told us that.
no,
Yeah,
I did not.
yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you
I
did.
said, I
Yeah.
said stay new for at least
Oh,
2
you
to
said
3
it. You
years.
said
You know, I don't
stupid
know.
all
Stay
the time.
stupid.
All right.
Remember him saying stay
Okay,
stupid?
apparently.
Not him. I
Remember him saying "say stupid"?
Actually,
I see Jim over there winking and stuff, messing with me.
Speaking of which, related, unrelated, talked to Matt West yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's doing well. He's negotiating FedEx contracts.
Yeah, I remember. I talked
Kinda
to him
wild.
I don't know, about a year ago.
Anyways, back to beer.
So
But getting back to the stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
What was your first joke? How'd you come out of the gate?
it was not. I did callbacks for the first maybe 30 seconds.
What's a callback?
A callback is like somebody else said something that was really funny in their skit. They're
It's a callback to a previous joke.
right.
Ooh.
So I was thinking of stuff while they were saying things like, oh, that's pretty funny. And I thought of ideas that played into that. So I went up and I just started with that. So it worked out well. It kind of opened up and lightened everybody up and started off with some laughs.
But what was it?
Dude, it was like 2 months ago. I don't remember.
What were some of the notes that you have? Tell us a joke.
No.
Mr. Funny Man. Come on.
No. I'm keeping them. I'm waiting until I get it all ready.
Make
wanna
us
hear-
laugh, clown.
We want to hear a future.
That's the problem with, so that's like the number one thing that all comedians talk about is like, anytime I mention that I'm a comedian, people are like, oh yeah, you're a funny guy, huh? Make me laugh.
Entertain me.
Yeah.
Tell me a joke. Make
Tell me
me
a joke.
laugh.
Make me laugh. Yeah. No,
So we actually have a friend in the beer and whiskey communities, Josh Fox,
Yes,
that does
yes.
open mic night. So if you want someone to connect with,
really?
Down in
I got a-
Murfreesboro.
I got another buddy, Chuck Krieger, that's been doing it for years and years and years in Nashville.
Neat.
And heading up. He has a Prozzy, I think it's like Prozzy Logic. I have to look it up. But
Interesting.
funny stuff.
You know what's funny is that you meet a person and you get an impression of them. I met Mike in 2013, as I did you, Ben. And you kind of like, we all knew we were like where we needed to be at the time of our lives. And sometimes we don't find ourselves until later in life. Dude, I got to say, stand-up comedy, like if all of a sudden like a year from now, he's like, hey man, check out my HBO special. All of a sudden it starts taking off and he's like, one of the, like a Nate Bargatze or something like that. And it would be like one of those things I'm like, that I did not see coming at all. Holy crap. That completely surprised me, but good for you because that takes some nuts, man.
I don't know
It was,
does.
it was interesting when you get up there and all of a sudden you're not facing one person, you're facing all the rest of them.
And if you bomb, like you have to bomb. That's,
And you
that's
have
part
to
of the
not
process.
think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, well, the second time, what was funny is one of the things that threw me off was one table was probably like 12 people and they were all the family of one of the comedians that had come up and they were all in from Ohio. And you could tell like he had already gone, he was done, everything's cool. And they're just sitting there. And I'm more stories than I am like jokes, just kind of funny stories that go into different places. And I was talking about one and I looked over and there's this one lady looking at me like,
That makes me uncomfortable right
just
now.
dead.
Yeah.
There was just death in her eyes. I looked over and I went, okay. I went back the
I
other
was
way.
gonna say, man, make the
Moving
suggestion.
on.
Don't look at her.
Could you please blink, ma'am?
Ma'am, are you okay?
Are you alive?
Those are some
These
of-
are not
those some of the
landing with
funniest
you, are
clips.
they?
You'll see a comedian on stage and they're like talking with someone that someone's not having it or they're bombing with that one person. That one person's uncomfortable. And just those interactions are always so great. Like just you almost have to play it up at that point. Like, I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm not funny to you.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to ask questions like that. No.
Our BNI can sometimes be stand-up comedy.
There's a lot of humor in that group.
There's a lot
I
of
like
humor. And like Mike and I belong to the same BNI chapter, which is a business networking group. And you try to be funny. I have bombed so many times. You think that's, and I'm like, I know this is probably not good. And the thing that you would never expect to be funny is the thing that gets them. It's weird.
Yeah,
Sounds like strange people.
You got to remember, it's the thing that catches people the most off guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Just going in one direction and then hitting it with, the outcome is something entirely different and it just shocks people into humor. Yeah. I've got a couple of those, but most of my stuff is like just
I'm
funny
better
stories of life and whatnot.
Like in podcasting situations like this, I can make people laugh like this. In a big group, oh, it's brutal. It is. See? I mean,
Or your humor, your choices of humor might not work in a big crowd where everybody might feel like, I don't want to laugh at that because other people, whereas one or two people, a a lot more
It's
open.
not safe enough.
Are you talking about the poop jokes that I make in B&I in front of professional business people?
There's that. That's, yeah.
Do you have trouble reading the room?
Yes.
What?
Jim, no.
Y'all don't like that baby jokes? Oh, okay.
So here are my thoughts on abortion.
Social norms. Social, no.
That was actually a Louis C.K. bit. I got to give him credit. Have you heard that? He like comes out and everyone's cheering, and he just opens up his whole act by going, "So here are my thoughts on abortion." Right into it.
Well, talking about like taking it in the direction people don't expect.
Right.
That's right out
Oh
the
my
gate, taking it where they don't
Exactly.
expect.
Wow.
That's what I'm always hunting for. I've got like pages and pages of notes. Like I'll be driving down the road and I'm like, oh, and I have to like voice to text something to myself so I can come up with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if I can refine it, I've got probably like an hour and a half worth of stuff, but I need to refine it to where
It all flows.
yes,
One thing
because
flows into the next.
because I in my second time that I did it, I didn't say a couple of words that I needed to say that kind of made it connect to the next one, and then I went and I just had like total freeze. I locked up and I went,
You had a glitch.
yeah.
How do
And
I do this now?
I said, I just forgot what I was going to say. And I pulled out my sheet and I went, oh yeah. And that throws off the whole timing of it. So I've got to get it down. And it's weird. How do you practice to a wall? It's just
So,
not the same,
you can-
hence the open mics being beneficial.
So one of my favorites. So I've seen several comedians do this, and it's a lot of times when they're, especially if they have a special coming up and they're on tour and they're practicing, they'll kind of go through their main routine. And if they have any time left, a lot of times they'll break out like the notepad and try out jokes on the crowd. I've seen Henry Cho do this. I've seen Dion Cole do this.
Mix them in with your tried and true stuff.
And Dion Cole makes it a whole bit, and I love it because he actually like pulls out like a little pad. He acts like he's writing. He's not actually writing anything. And like tell a joke. And like, it bombs. You're like, all right, that one didn't work. But sometimes that's the joke too, though, right? And they're like,
They do try it out.
That's good. Yeah, and he'll go and he'll keep his little
That's
notes on there.
that's
and
the thing.
and he makes it funny. Like he's like, all right, these might bomb, but that's the whole point of it.
Right.
Like you
gotta
let them
try.
know ahead of time. It's like sales. You set up the expectations. So if it bombs, you're not actually bombing. They're laughing with you.
There you go.
You're
Right.
making it okay to
Amen.
laugh with you.
And
as opposed
you always
to laugh at
so
you.
many people don't understand that
Yeah.
in general. But I mean, dude, I'm glad you're pursuing this. I mean, it is like part of the gauntlet of becoming like a full-fledged comedian is bombing, and you even get you have to. That's part
Pay
of
your
the
dues.
process where you get the respect from other comedians
Right.
that everybody has to bomb at some point.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to like a time where I just completely just eat dirt.
Right,
But
but with
I
that
know
being
it's
said-
going to happen. Like
but-
there's going to be at least, a couple of times where nobody finds a damn thing funny. And I'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
moving on.
With that being said, man, it's keep going with it. I think
Yeah.
I'm an encourager. I like that. I think that you're going to be
I'm going to follow you.
right.
I love stand-up
thank you.
comedy.
Yeah.
I'm not, so for the record, this is not a huge pursuit of mine. Like I'm not going like all in
But
right now.
imagine if it did.
It'd be
You know
cool.
what I mean?
It would be cool. But yeah, I mean, it's like when I have some extra time, like the last several Thursdays, I haven't even had a chance. There's just too much, financial advisory is pretty full time.
Not
plus
funny.
running other business and not
Right.
funny.
No.
So dealing with all that and then having
It can be funny.
time to go to the others.
Our meetings with you are funny.
You
Yeah,
have
well,
to
yeah.
feed that inner child, that creativity. You got to
Yeah.
just go out and embrace it and
Yeah.
tell us when you're going again. We'll be there to support you.
Yeah, see, that's the question. Do you want people that
Yeah.
there? Does that put more pressure on you?
No,
I'm
it
curious
helps
about how
you.
that would go. So
I
we'll
think
see.
it'd help you.
All right, we'll see. The first time it was just Stacy. The second time it was Stacy and another friend of ours. So yeah, why not let me just get a huge crowd of people I know so I can just
Right.
eat shit.
No.
We'll all heckle you.
We'll
help you
That
bomb.
is not.
We'll help you bomb to get over it.
Yeah.
Right? That's what friends do.
I'll bring the
Heckle the newbie.
I'll bring the roadcaster,
This guy
and I'll be able to
Yeah.
or
I'll just lay down on stage. I'll just go,
and eventually you're gonna get that guy in the audience that's like yeah.
that will be Jim. That will be Jim. Nobody else laughs, and you just hear.
like Robert De Niro and Cape Fear.
Oh my gosh. Great reference.
The cigar in his mouth in the movie theater.
That's good
gosh.
stuff.
All right. So
Yeah, I was gonna say we're running out of beer. If Michelle has.
I finished mine.
All right, so What would that pair well with?
Ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like this would actually go with the sweet dessert. A flourless chocolate torte.
Oh my, that's so specific.
Definitely a dessert, though,
Holy
of some
moly.
sort.
But it's not too sweet. It's a thicker, heavier dessert. Stand up to the beer.
Yeah.
You're not having this huge play of like too sweet, or it's gonna be good.
Interesting. I'm thinking vanilla macarons with like a vanilla buttercream because
And mine was specific.
that is oddly specific. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Now, I'm going to say something maybe controversial, but follow my train of thought. I could almost see it pairing with a smoked barbecue of some sort.
I want to call
Well,
it
the
roast
sweetness
steak.
of the sauce.
well,
yeah.
and also all,
Yes,
the,
exactly.
the spices
Right.
would go well with
That's
that.
what I
Espresso
think
rubbed ribeye.
could bring that. Ooh.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't care what the ribeye. I don't care what I'm drinking.
It's a
It
ribeye.
would pair with a ribeye.
With a
I don't
ribeye,
care.
anything.
I'll have water with a
Evan
ribeye.
Williams
Yeah,
with
Evan
a ribeye.
Williams.
Pineapple juice mixed
This would
with,
go great
you know.
with Evan Williams eggnog.
Yeah.
Evan Williams.
Evan Williams. Brought to you by.
So it's funny when you guys go to pairings, like all this time I was going, I have no idea. What to pair with. And I hear like, you guys
Sometimes that's the answer is nothing.
right.
Right.
But I'm just not, I consider
Rare
myself
that it's nothing.
the least educated of the bunch when it comes to this kind of thing. And I just, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense, but I mean, not as specific. I'm thinking like an Entenmann's donut or something.
You have to think of foods that'll bring out what
Right.
you're tasting. And
That I
sometimes
know.
it is about pairing with the food to bring out what you're getting in the food.
I understand that, but it's like sometimes I'm like, duh,
Donut.
donuts.
Donut.
I was about to say Krispy Kreme glazed donut.
I was thinking more like a chocolate frosted donut from Entenmann's.
See,
like
you
those
guys
old
are trying to
school.
make it richer. I'm trying to like
Mellow it out,
Yeah,
yeah.
just a little bit.
Turn it
No, I
down.
think for me,
It
for my
has
taste
that
buds,
maltiness to it, which is not sweet.
yeah.
Right.
So it need something that is sweet could actually work well with it, but it does go the other way as well. It's I could see it being fairly neutral as far as what it could pair well with. It could go either way. It could go with like a blackened chicken or something.
Okay.
See, like, and you guys are gonna laugh at me for some reason. I'm thinking like a really sweet tomato sauce
Okay.
with pasta.
I would
Right.
not- I would not
See what I
think
mean?
that.
Everybody's
Jim always
what I mean?
has the weirdest pairing thing that pops up, and I'm like, man, I
okay.
don't know about that. But
Flourless torte cake. I mean, for crying out loud.
that
You've never had a flour chocolate torte?
I'm sure I have, but I probably don't remember it that much. Where it's like,
excellent.
I'll take that's like a comedy bit in itself, right there. The people that are like, I'll have the flour. I'll take a 1985 flourless torte. When they, instead of using a rock grinder, they used like a cardboard grinder.
It's one of Hannah's favorites.
cardboard grinder.
I don't know.
It's delicious.
Those oddly specific people that you run into a party. So I really like it. The Blanca 1992 and a half.
I don't have those, but I have the ones when you go to a restaurant where they're like, yes, is that chicken, is it pounded flat with a mallet, or is it, do you press it? It's like,
Do you lay on it? And how much does the person weigh who's laying on the chicken that is human pressed? And are you
pressed?
is it skin to skin, or is there at least a little bit of plastic
Barrier
wrap
or
as a
something,
barrier?
Yeah,
A condom, if you will.
chicken condom.
Is it penis beaten by chance? And like,
Yes, we call
Is
him
that-
Bob the Mallet back in the back.
did you go to Home Depot and get the sledgehammer in aisle 3?
Do you clean it with the proper cloth each time before?
That's
you,
right.
Yeah. Anyway, we
Do you have
went
a
to
number
dinner a couple of
8
times with somebody
cheesecloth
like
that you
that.
clean it with?
Like,
What is it? I want
If it's a number 7, I'm sending it back. Right. All right. I want a number 8 cheesecloth that you cleansed the sledgehammer
and it
with.
needs to be
Nothing
twisted,
more,
not
nothing less.
just squeeze.
What kind of methodology did you use?
methodology?
Methodology.
Methodology.
Did you
Three-
use the
three
clean
squeezes or
said
4?
And the beer is
sledgehammer?
kicking in.
That's a comedy bit right there, dude. Write that down. That's good.
Write it down, Mike. Write it
So
down.
what's funny
That's
is
so
Write it down.
good.
Write
Gold.
it down,
It's
Mike.
gold.
Write it down.
Do the roar.
ever since I mentioned to anybody that I've started doing this, people are like, "That's a comedy bit. Write that down." And I'm like,
Oh no. They fell right into it.
"Yeah." Dan at the office every day, he's like, "Put that in your act." I'm like, "Shut up."
Dan could be like the next Andrew Dice Clay. Just
Dan-
get up there and insult people.
Dan has such a natural stage presence and a want to be on stage presence. It's ridiculous. Like when we have business meetings with clients that are not local, we have a microphone. He will pick the microphone up and be talking to. It just seems like he just wants to be with
Like
the
a talk
microphone,
show?
and he is funny. But you talk about humor that only some people get.
Yeah.
Like some people are like, whoa.
Well, no, he's got like, he takes the filter off real quick. And he says thing. Well, he's got a little bit of a filter, but it comes down in like the first 30 seconds.
Yes.
He'll meet you and it's like, oh yeah, I'd say you married up. Dude, I just met you and I'm trying to decide if I want to do business with you.
He can be a little over the top sometimes.
You don't know me well enough to say that to me. I get what you're doing, and I appreciate it, but holy crap, man. Freaking hors d'oeuvres first.
So one of my first...
Nice to meet you. Hot wife.
Yeah. What's she like in bed? You know what I mean? I'd like to do... Hey, when you're done with her, pass her my
Is
way.
your sex life like aisle 5 of Home Depot? Rope chains and tie downs?
So one of our first meetings together with a client when I first started working at the firm, Corey Mooney.
Oh, gosh.
He and his wife came in, great couple. We've known each other for years and years and years, worked together for years. And we would cut up with each other. Corey and his wife are black, and obviously I'm not. And he would hit me with just hammer me with Italian jokes, and I'd hammer him with black. We were like just always just having a ball with it, right?
Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Just having fun with it.
Yeah.
No, we knew each other. It was all good. They came in and just sitting down talking with them for the first time, asking about what they're doing financially and everything else. Dan was talking with them, said, "Oh, so you're the bank is having you do this, and you're tied to them by doing this, and you're tied to them by doing." Well, yeah, we are. You know what that makes you?
Oh no!
And I went. Like there was just and I looked over at them, and they looked at me. And they just died laughing. And I was like, oh, good, thank God. I was like,
Awkward.
Because I had no idea. Dan didn't know them from Adam, right? And they didn't know him. And he has no filter. He's like, that makes you slay. I was like, oh my God.
It's genuine because it sounds like what Dan would say to anybody.
Right. Yeah. That's just him. He has no filter. But it's if you understand where it's coming from and who it's coming from, like, it's all out of love and not out of like cynicism and anger or bitterness or anything. Then you understand it's funny.
Might be a little out of craziness.
There's definitely crazy.
No.
A squash.
But yeah, anyway, it was really funny. So
the one of the things, speaking of feeding comedians bits, I did that once successfully.
Oh yeah.
We had Dusty Slay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dusty's
We're having a good time.
hilarious,
We're having a good time. Yeah.
He was on Rich's show about 2 years ago. We had him on in person. Actually, probably before 2021 for sure. No, 2020. Dang it. So way long ago, we had him in person. And I was talking to him about an experience at Cracker Barrel, and I got talking to the server at one point, and I said, you know what? What's a job, waitressing at Cracker Barrel? And she goes, it's actually one of the most difficult serving jobs you could ever get. If you could make it here, you could make it anywhere. And he goes, so it's like the New York City of restaurants. And I said, exactly. I was just about to say that. And he actually apparently used it in his act.
Oh, cool.
Oh, right on.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you almost said something that he came up with that he used.
That's right.
Jim's full of the subtle flexes today.
Right. The good Jim
Humble
is,
brag.
and I've talked about it before. Jim and Courtney, both his wife, are. Every time we hang out together, it's like I'm in a comedy routine. Like you both are so flippin' funny, like just naturally, just in conversation, what they say to each other, how they interact. It's just everything. It's just you guys are both very witty.
We are, and it's just it's also just being comfortable with each other. We've known each other going on 27 years now.
Mm-hmm.
We've been together, but I've known her since I'm 6-7 years old.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
So you kind of get rid of all the barriers over a period of time like that, where you just be like, whatever. Okay, let's wrap this up. I realize we're going to go. Ratings.
I'm going a solid 7.8 on this. I like it. It's really good. It is hard to drink a whole lot. Like drinking 2 of them by myself would be a challenge. Yeah. It would take me 3 hours to get through 2.
Yeah.
But it's a bigger beer. It's not meant to be, slam back during the Super Bowl. I really like it. You get a lot of the gingerbread, a lot of the ginger snap, like that good caramelly, molasses-y.
Vanilla, vanilla-y.
Yeah, it was. I really liked it.
Cool. Jim?
Yeah, probably be about an 8. I liked it. Flat 8.
What?
A flat 8.
Flat 8.
Flat 8.
What did you say? A 7 point what?
7.8.
7.8. I'll go with a 7.79.
All right.
I'm almost there.
Almost there.
It's good. Again, yeah. So the Babe Brew big beer. It is heavy. It's something you can't have a lot of in one sitting. Which
Right.
I think this is a good social beer. Right. There's different types of beers.
Great for that cold Christmas day.
Right. There's the background beers. There's the just beer for beer's sake. There's beer you can really get into, and then there's the background beer. That's the background. This is the social beer where you want to split it with people and not have a lot. Chiming in some music, aren't you?
Well, I thought we were wrapping up.
Go ahead and give us your rating. What do you think, Michelle?
I'd say 8.
Nice.
There you go.
All right.
Great minds think alike.
Anything else people need to know? Where can they find the Babe Brews and support it and whatever else?
Currently, there's one available here in the area, and that's this one that we just tried, the gingerbread porter. It's available at Brewed. Otherwise, follow us at Beer Babes Family on Facebook, Instagram, and you'll get to keep up with all of the upcoming releases and all the fun events that we have going on. They have features on the different ambassadors. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Check us out.
Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you for bringing that to everybody's attention. I'm excited to learn more about it and to explore more of their beers because I like what you guys are doing. I like what everybody's putting together. It's really good.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Till next time, find us at the alesandtalespodcast.com. Like, subscribe. If you see us on Patreon and you want to support us, feel free to throw us a couple of beer bucks too. We're okay with that. Nobody will complain, I promise you. Evan Williams?
Evan Williams. Evan Williams.
Come on, Evan. Let's go. All right. Till next time, guys. Cheers.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah.